Welcome to the 2026 Route 66 Athlete Briefing for the Duathlon. I'm Elaine Crow, your race director. This race is the 2026 Oklahoma USAT State Championships for age groups, high school, and club. What does that mean? Well, it means that the overall winners are the official Oklahoma State Champions, which is pretty cool. The overall top three winners will also receive USAT certificates, and the results count towards national rankings. In most races, the top 15% roughly will qualify for USAT nationals, but because this is a state championship, the top 35% will qualify. So if you're looking to go to nationals to qualify, that is a pretty cool thing. Let's talk about packet pickup. We'll have two locations for you. The first one is on Thursday, May 28th at Al's Bicycle in Edmond. The address is on our site from 5 to 7 p.m. The second is on Friday, May 29th at Edmond Park Beach, which is the race venue, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. No race day packet pickup is available unless it's approved in advance by the race director. So what's in your bag? We'll have your bike stickers, your t-shirt, if you register before the cutoff, your bib, your timing chip, and thanks to our friends at Visit Edmond, a dining discount, discounted dining for some restaurants here in Edmond. And then if this is your first race, you want to make sure you are aware of some of the resources available to you from TRI-OKC. At Packet Pickup, we will have a new athlete liaison, which is just another resource available for you to ask all your questions. So you don't feel pressured to just move through the line. They're dedicated to be there to make you feel 100% confident and comfortable for race day. Also in your packet, you will have a white newbie party slip, basically, that we encourage you to wear on race day so that other athletes and volunteers can give you that extra support to get you to the finish line. This image shows you where your bike sticker should go. It can go on your top tube or your seat post. Just make sure your sticker is not covering or on any of your brake lines. Where do you park? Parking is going to be available at the sports field that's right off of Midwest Boulevard, which is the main road you come in to the park on. We do have secondary parking available at the next entrance to Lake Arcadia, which is Central State Park. It's the marina and beach. Be aware it is about a mile walk, and so be aware when coming, plan to be here early, and please carpool with spectators and friends and family if you can do so. Entry is covered to the park for our athletes and volunteers. That does not include Friday, so keep that in mind when deciding which packet pickup to attend. We don't include your packet pickup or your entry fee for Friday. Here's a map of the two parking areas. Again, number one is your primary. It's a pretty big area. We generally don't have people need to use the secondary, but it is available just in case. And then that blue shows the walking trail. There's a paved walking trail that's very well marked and easy for you to use, but again, it is about a mile. So what does race morning look like? We have a pretty tight schedule, which is why we try to discourage or not do race day packet pickup unless it's absolutely necessary. So transition will open at 6 a.m. for our TRI-OKC members, and then for the rest of the athletes 10 minutes later at 6:10. Transition closes at 7 a.m. And then for our duathletes, the race start is at 7 a.m. up by the finish line. We'll start right on the other side of the finish line so y'all can get started on your first run. Here is a map of the general race area. We've got transition in that parking line. And then for y'all, since you are not swimming, just ignore that green start there. Your start and finish will be right just on the north side of transition. And then the blue box is the staging area, which is also the Osage Pavilion. So if you need something race morning, that pavilion will be where a lot of the resources, snacks, things like that will be. And then we'll have those, there's constructed bathrooms there at the park, and then we'll have some extra porta potties race morning. And that red cross there is where the first aid tent will be located. Safety is our number one priority here at TRI-OKC. So we are actively monitoring the weather. It's one of the reasons we don't send this out until closer to the race, because we're trying to keep an eye on things, and it is Oklahoma, things change regularly. So as of now, we're looking at about temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s at race start, with a 50% chance of rain, low winds, but there is also, I would say, about a 30 to 50% chance of storms along with that rain. So I'm actively monitoring the weather. We will make changes to the race format if necessary, should we have storms, hail, lightning, those things. We will race in the rain. But we do also have the ability to monitor modify the format, and be that a shortened swim or a canceled swim, shortened bike, things of that nature. We'll communicate those changes if there are any, a delayed start, via email or social media, or also if we're already at the venue, we'll communicate that through the PA system. But again, we'll do our best to race the race in its fullest. But safety is our number one priority, and that is what we have top of mind when making those decisions. So let's talk about entering transition. So before you enter transition, you're going to make sure you have that timing chip on your left ankle. Your helmet is out and available. One of your stickers does go on the front of your helmet. There's a little sticker. Make sure that's on. And your bike sticker is applied as well. We do open racking here at TRI-OKC, and so we don't have assigned spots, which is why, being a TRI-OKC member, getting into transition first is a pretty big perk. So you can get in there first and basically rack where you want. I know some of us have preferred spaces, so that's a benefit of being a member. And then transition is an athlete-only area. No friends, family members, or spectators are allowed. Here are some photos of some pretty common transition setups. Most people will bring a small backpack with them that carries their items in it, and you'll have some space next to your bike to set your items up. Please be mindful of the limited space, and don't spread out all over the place. And please also try to make it so no one else needs to move your stuff to get to their stuff, and also don't touch anyone else's stuff. We will have volunteers in transition that if someone's items do need to get moved, they are able to do that. Let's talk about the run gear. Now that we're ready to run, you'll need running shoes, that running bib. It is only required for the second run. You do not have to wear it on your first one. You can, but it is not required. You cannot wear headphones or any audio devices that includes those bone conducting items on the run or any part of the course. You'll want your hydration if you have some specific needs, sunglasses or hat, and then timing chip. So the run course itself, this is a 5K. So you'll just do one lap. I'll show you a map here in a second. It is your responsibility as the athlete to know the course. You will have 2 aid stations in addition to an aid station right outside of transition that you will have access to. This is a USAT sanctioned race, so those rules do all apply. Stay right to pass. If you're walking or a slower athlete, just stay over to the right so that faster athletes can pass on the left. And then your torso must be covered at all times. So here is the run course. You will go out on those white arrows. So note that the run out and the run in look a little different. As far as that very bottom part, the way out, you do that little kind of keyhole out, and then when coming back in, you do not. I'll have a zoomed in map here in just a second. And then the aid stations are those blue squares with the spout and the cup. And when you come in to finish, for the duathletes, you're not finishing, you are returning to transition. But when you complete the 5K, you do not go around that little, not a roundabout, but that little circle. You'll come straight down Midwest Boulevard and re-enter transition, which is that parking lot right there, south of where the finish line is. So you'll just turn and go right back into transition to go out on your bike. Otherwise, you will run long, and you don't want to do that. So coming into transition, you are going to re-enter from the east side, and you're going to bike out on the west. It is important that you make sure that before you pick up your bike, you have put on and clipped your helmet. And the other important thing about this transition is to remember not to mount your bike until you're past the mount line, which will be a taped and coned line on the outside of transition. We'll also have a volunteer there with a vest and a flag. Here is the layout of transition for you to see. There is the run in, run out. Now that run out does show you running out to that, that kind of keyhole. But again, when you're coming back in, you won't do that. You will come in and then run back into transition. Again, swim doesn't apply to you, so just ignore that. You guys are smart and don't swim. And then there's your bike in, bike out. The dismount line will be right around where that text box is. Text box is in the purple. So bike gear. What do you need for that? Obviously, your bike has to be in safe working order. We will check your brakes when you check it into transition. A helmet, again, is required. Also, again, no audio devices, sunglasses, and hydration if you need them, and also that timing chip. So for the bike course, this is a 40K bike course. It is open. Again, it's your responsibility to know that course. We will have the Edmond Police Department on course, not at every turn and intersection, but at our major ones. Again, USAT rules apply, especially with regards to drafting. So you have to leave roughly 6 bike lengths between yourself and the bikes in front of you. And then if you choose to make a pass or start to get less than that number of bike lengths between you and another athlete, you have 25 seconds to pass that athlete. Again, slower athletes stay on the right. We will have SAG provided by our friends at Wheeler Dealer on the course. So if you need help, some kind of mechanical situation or a flat, pull over to the side and they'll be driving the course with their hazards on. Just raise your hand and they'll know to stop. Also, it is important to note there are no aid stations on the bike course. Generally, you won't see those for an Olympic distance bike. So plan accordingly if you need something to drink or eat on the bike. Here is the course. You can see the red is out and the blue is back in. Also, please note that there is the sprint turnaround on the bike right about the center of your screen on the bottom. I forget the name of that row, but there's a turnaround there. It'll be marked for the sprint, but just be cognizant that as you are coming back, you may have athletes that are on the sprint distance turning around right there. So you'll be able to see it. Again, it'll be marked, so just be cautious. They have been also warned to be cautious and be mindful of you when they're making their turns as well. So there are 2 turnarounds on this course. They'll be marked and we'll have volunteers at them as well. But again, it is your responsibility to know the course and make sure that you complete the course in its entirety. There is no passing zone on this course. Right as you leave the lake, as you turn left onto Midwest City Boulevard and right before you turn onto Route 66. This is a part where we have athletes on the bike and the run course basically intersect, and we may have cars coming and going as well. Generally not, we won't see cars until after everyone's off the bike, but when we have that traffic, we want to make sure we're reducing speed, and we do that by instituting a no passing zone. So a race will not be won and lost in this very small stretch, and we will have eyes out there watching this part of the course. So don't incur a penalty by trying to pass somebody here. Take your time and be safe. Transition 2. So after you finish that bike and are ready to do your second run, you'll re-enter transition from the west side, and the reverse that you went out is true when you come back. You're going to re-enter. I just said that. You're going to get off your bike before the mount line and then leave that helmet on until you've re-racked your bike. And you will exit transition from the east side and then finish that 5K one more time. And then this time you will head to the finish line. And again, another 5K. We've talked about this. This time you do need to wear your bib and it must be visible. And also your torso must again be covered. So we'll show you the course one more time. Again, white arrows are out and the red arrows are back. And when you do come back this time, you will go straight past transition and to the finish line. We'll have a big inflatable arch from our friends at the Oklahoma Outdoor Racing Company, and they'll be welcoming you to your finish line. So once you finish, enjoy your moment. Get your water and your snacks, collect your finisher medal, and stick around for awards. In the post-race survey we send in the next day or two, we do take those seriously and really listen to athlete feedback. We want to hear what we did well, what we can do better, how we can make this a better experience. We always want to be improving. We do have professional photographers that will be on scene and at the race on Saturday. Mile 90 will be there, so that is included with your race registration. So we look forward to seeing that. They do great work. If you have questions, if there's things that I have not answered in this briefing or something I've confused you about, we're here to help you. There's 2 email addresses here that you can reach out to us at. Bottom one is my personal email address. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can, or you can always ask us at packet pickup. Lastly, I want to thank our sponsors. This race is not possible without them, so we appreciate working with each and every one of these companies. Special shout out to Visit Edmond. They're our title sponsor for this race, and they've been great to work with. If you need something to do this weekend, need to figure out where to go eat, or are ever going to come visit Edmond, it's a great city. There's tons of cool things to do. Visit Edmond is your go-to. They've got an event calendar, all the best places to eat, all the best places to stay. So check out Visit Edmond. We're excited to race with you guys. We'll see you this weekend.